So the ICD have called this an Adagio 4/4. So I would say it's an Adagio in 4/4. Adagio just means slow, sustained music, and it's in 4/4. It could be in 2/4. There's no reason to say why it's in 4/4 rather than 2/4. But in the ICD land, we're thinking, and in ballet land in general, we're thinking Adagio in 4/4 or Adagio 4/4. And we count it. It's quite hard to count, really. We have to count slowly. So we count 5 and a 6 and a 7 and a 8 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. So this is one of the ones where I think they're really good in ballet class to use Adagio 4/4s. But if I was in a DDE exam or in a bigger ballet class, I might say, and the examiner says, can you set an Adagio, something where you want some Adagio music, and you decide you want an Adagio 4/4, you could definitely, for this one, say to your pianist, can you play me an Adagio in 4/4, please? And then you could listen to a bit of it. And then that would get the rhythm in your body and be able to count it. I think it's hard. I think this is one that dancers and dance students and DDE students will find hard to just come out of nowhere and come up with this rhythm. It's one of those ones where it's not hard to count once you're doing it. It's just hard to kind of come up with it. It's much easier to come up with Adagio 3/4. I'm not sure why that is, just it is. So for an introduction, we'll want 4 counts, and those counts are going to be slow. So 5 and a 6 and a 7 and a 8. That's what I recommend. But this is one of those ones where you could have 2 counts and it will be absolutely fine. And 2 counts would sound like this. And that I felt like I knew where I was coming in. As long as you've got a pianist who can kind of shape the intro to make it obvious when it's going to happen, then that'll be fine. So I'd say 4 counts in, but you could have 2 counts, but they're slow counts. So there's quite a lot of Adagio 4/4s in the Cecchetti grades. So one example is in the grade 5 Adagio in the centre, the F note, not the Adagio, well it is, the arabesque exercise in grade 5, it goes like this. 5 and a 6 and a 7 and 8 and so it's written in 4/4. There's lots of other Adagios that are that sound exactly the same as that, but they're actually written in 2/4 because there's no difference to the musician. That's how it sounds the same. So some of them are written in 2/4, some of them are written in 4/4. I don't know what it says in the grades book, but we also, in musicians, we don't say 4/4 all the time when we talk about 4/4. We sometimes call it common time. So, in fact, I'm going to show you. There you go. In the music, this is the arabesque exercise, and it doesn't say 4/4, it says C, a big capital C. And that means common time. So if you ever see something that says common time, that means 4/4. So one song that people often use to remember an Adagio 4/4 is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And it goes... I think the reason they use this song is because the first 2 words of the song match the count. So it goes somewhere, and it goes, so you count out 1 and a 2 and a 3. So I think that's why it's a good song to use, because you've got 1 and 2 on the first 2 notes of the tune. So yeah, that makes sense. So what kind of exercises would you use an Adagio 4/4 for? Well, you'd use it for Adagio exercises. And Adagio means slow and sustained. So anything that's slow and sustained. So pliés, rond de jambe, développés, arabesque exercises, anything like that. And also like training exercises it would be quite good for. Yeah, and there's no particular reason to choose an Adagio in 4/4 over an Adagio in 3/4. There is just one thing to say, and that's that if your Adagio has any balances in it, or any waltz turns in it, you can't use the 4/4, you have to use a 3/4 because it wouldn't match the music. I mean, you can do it, you just have to use like a triplet, but it just doesn't feel, it's not musical to do it, that's what I mean. Okay. So if I was in my DDE exam or in a ballet class and I wanted to set something to an Adagio in 4/4, I would say, please can I have a 4/4 Adagio or an Adagio in 4/4. 5 and a 6 and a 7 and a 8 and then a 1 and a 2, and that would be enough. Or I might say, please can I hear an Adagio in 4/4, and then get the rhythm in the body, because it's not the easiest one to come up with just from nothing. Or I might say, please can I have Adagio in 4/4, and I'll have 2 counts intro, 7 and a 8 and a 1 and a 2, and that would be fine as well.